Hello, I'm Dr. Chris Storty, and thanks for listening today. And if you have allergies, please listen to the end of this so you can learn how you can take control of your health and free yourself from the devastating effects of allergies. So today, first, I'm going to define some terms that are associated with allergies. Then I'm going to talk to you about what's happening hormonally in your body. And then we're going to talk about the 5 areas that you can control to help reduce your body's symptoms of allergies holistically. Okay? So let's get started. All right. So first, let's define what allergies are. So listen to this. An allergy is a reaction by the immune system to a normally harmless substance. Harmless, right? The substance is harmless. Pollen, dust, these are harmless substances. However, the person's immune system is reacting to it. So basically, there's a hypersensitive response by the immune system to a substance. So that information is key, so hold on to that. The other word I want to define is histamine. Now, you've probably heard the word antihistamine because those are the medications that people take when they are treating allergy symptoms. But what is actually a histamine? Okay. Histamines are chemicals that are produced by our immune system. Right? Histamines act like bouncers at a club. So when the pollen comes in, they help your body get rid of it, and so that it removes that allergy, right? So it gets rid of the allergen, pushes it out of your body. Right? And how does it do that? Well, the histamine produces a reaction in your skin, in your sinuses. It opens up the pores. It increases blood vessels. It makes you sneeze, makes your nose run, makes the skin become more red and rashy, right? So that is pushing all of those allergens or toxins out of the way. The triggers are usually things like pollen, dander, dust, and even though they may seem harmless, your immune system sees them as a threat. So it's your body interaction is trying to keep you safe, but what's happening is there's an overreaction occurring, and so then you get those allergy symptoms. Okay. So let's show you what's happening hormonally. I want to draw. I got this picture behind me. I can show you what's actually happening. And so the term, and I'll show you how this occurs, but the term is called histamine intolerance. It means your body is intolerant of histamine. And another way to say it, and we'll talk about this in a moment, is that there's too much histamine going on in your body. Okay, so let's talk about how this actually works. So first here, what we have is the pollen comes into the body. When the pollen comes into the body, there are specific cells in the body called mast cells. They're a specific cell of the immune system that react to the dander, to the pollen, to the dust that comes in. When that mast cell is triggered by the pollen, what happens is it begins to produce histamine. The histamine then opens up the sinuses, makes the mucus form, makes you sneeze. All of that is caused by histamine. In a normal course of action, there's a series of enzymes that are produced also at the same time, and they begin to reduce the histamine. And so the process is a very simple process. Pollen comes in, cells react, the body rids itself of the problem, body calms down the histamines, and everything is balanced and happy. Okay. But what happens is there's a breakdown in this cycle, and there becomes too much histamine, and this is when it's called histamine intolerance. And that's when you actually get those symptoms called allergies, because it goes beyond the normal. It goes into the not so ordinary process. Okay? So what's key here is to realize where the real problem lies. The problem doesn't lie in the pollen. The pollen lies in the body's reaction to the pollen. So we're so fast to try to eliminate pollen and try to suppress our immune system, but we really have to realize where the problem is coming from. The problem is because your body isn't functioning properly. Okay? So this is where the word, I said again, histamine intolerance. And this occurs when there's more histamine in the body than the body can break down, and it keeps on reacting to the allergen. So that means the nose keeps running. The eyes keeps watering, the sneezes keep happening, and the reactions just keep going unchecked. So let's look at holistically what can be done. So first, let's address the cells. Let's address it on a cellular level. So cellular healing is first what we're going to talk about. So we said that excess histamine can keep the reaction going. So why is the histamine at a high level? Well, one of the reasons is many of the reasons is because of our lifestyle. Our lifestyle actions can cause histamine production or can introduce histamine into the body. So for example, food, stress, and toxins. So these are three of the areas, there's more, but these are three of the areas that actually either stimulate or themselves mimic histamine. So foods, and you say, okay, well, I eat healthy. Absolutely. But there's a whole category of food called nightshades. So if you're Italian, forget it. It's tomatoes, it's zucchini, it's eggplant, it's everything we eat. But those kind of foods can actually stimulate histamine in the body. So when people have things like arthritis and allergies, one of the solutions is to stay away from those particular foods. Wine is another food that stimulates and irritates the histamine. Cheese, and I'm sure by now you guys are all hating me. Caffeine is another food that stimulates the histamine reaction. Next thing is toxins. And patients know that I talk about this all the time. There are toxins in our food. There are toxins in our air. There's toxins in our body products. There's toxins in our cleaners. And when you really take a deep dive into the products that we're using, we're quite overwhelmed by input of particles. So now with the toxins, two things are happening. One, they mimic the histamines. Two, the immune system is also reacting to the toxin too. So you have two reasons for the immune system to overreact. You say, where do these chemicals come from? Well, your plastic bottle is leaching chemicals into your water. There's additives in your food. There's artificial sugars. There's stabilizers. There's all kinds of additives in food. There's actually about 20,000 additives that are found in all food products. Then you have your cleaners, and that represents another 20,000 or so products, chemicals, I should say. And then you have all your body products, and that represents about another 20,000 chemicals that can be introduced into your body. Pesticides on the food, all of these things are chemicals. Some of them, like I said, are mimicking substances that mimic the hormones, that mimic histamine. And honestly, it's not unusual. It's not unusual for us to have a tremendous amount of chemicals. You say, well, where does this all come from? I'm healthy, I'm clean, I use soap and so on. I'm not a chemical person. But if you really look at the products, what statistic has shown us that the American population uses about 10 products on their body every single day. Inside the products, there's 7 to 12 ingredients that are known toxin harmful. So that means the average person is exposed to about 110 to 120 individual ingredients on a daily basis. And over the course of a year, you're talking about 80,000 different chemicals they're exposed to. They're microdoses, they're not large, and that's how they get in. The microdose gets into the system, and sure, the one use of a soap doesn't affect you, but multiply that by the 120 chemicals, multiply that by every single day, and you start really accumulating a lot of pollutants. Okay? The average person drinks 3 gallons of wine a year. Average American, meaning like all Americans in the country, all the wine drunk, 3 gallons per person. It's a tremendous amount of alcohol. And of course, the diet in America is quite low in nutrition. And so it's no wonder why when pollen season comes around, the immune system is completely overtaxed. All right, so when looking at sensitivities in general, there seems to be one common thread. and that's the nervous system imbalance. So the nerves are what regulates, once that pollen comes in, the nerves are what regulate the production of the hormones. They can control the turning on and turning off of the mast cells. It can even manage the metabolism and elimination of all of these the toxins and pollutants. And so because the nerves regulate and turn on and turn off all the functions, when the structure of the spine, when the body is out of alignment, or let me give you more understanding. Your nervous system is primarily your brain and spinal cord. Obviously, the brain is stored up in the skull. Spinal cord is the highway that goes all the way down through the spine, inside the vertebra. And then off of there are branches that send signals to all the different parts of the body. Those branches can get compressed when the structure of the vertebrae shift out of their position. And when those joints move and they pinch those nerves, whatever that nerve is controlling begins to malfunction. So the nervous system has the job of not only worrying about sensory, but also dealing with motor function. So you can pinch those nerves of motor, you won't have a symptom, you won't notice the pain, but your body would start to malfunction. And so what we found in a lot of our patients is when people come in, they start to get under care, and they come in for back pain or neck pain or a headache or something like that. But what starts to happen is the symptoms start to shift, like their digestive system gets better, or in this case, their allergies. So when your body starts to shift gear and the nerves start getting calm, well, then you start to be able to communicate. And so now your body can now shut off these systems more regularly, can produce more enzymes to speed the production, the reduction of the histamine. And so what I found is in many of my clients is that the symptoms of these allergies completely, well, either they disappear or they go down significantly. All right. So as many of my patients will tell you, when you make a lifestyle change and you add in the chiropractic care, your results are much more profound. So I want to introduce you to two people here. I have their testimonials that they wrote for me. But there are two people here, Megan and Peggy, who both had really, really fast responses. And they represent, I'd say, probably about a third of my practice who begin to change and improve their allergies when they come to see us. So let me show you first Megan. Megan wrote, she says, as a result of doing the 30-day isogenic cleanse and weekly adjustments, my allergies have improved, and I have had more energy and less headaches. Just before I did the cleanse, my allergies were really severe, and my symptoms included watery and itchy eyes, constant sneezing, and runny nose. All these symptoms have improved and are almost gone completely, and my overall energy has improved also. So what a great outcome. The other one, let me see here. Thank you. The other one here would be Peggy. Peggy was having a tough time with allergies. She also had a stiff neck and back pain, which is actually why she came in. The allergies were kind of a secondary in her mind. But she wrote, after 3 visits, I noticed a change in my back, and after 5 visits, my allergies took a turn for the best. My body has changed for the best. My outlook on life is more positive. And she wrote, things don't upset me like they used to. So not only was she getting better physically, but she was also getting better emotionally and functionally too. Okay. So what we recommend to people, there are really 5 areas, 5 actions that need to occur to create harmony in your body. Number 1 is neurological balance. And that's what we just described. When those nerves are able to communicate and there's no interference and the system's working the way it's supposed to, you have what's called neurological balance. Number 2 is nutritional balance. Now, the pitfall with people is they want to treat their symptom with nutrition. They say, what supplement helps me reduce my allergies? What supplement can help this rash go away? What supplement can clean my sinuses? And it doesn't work that way. What you have to do is you cannot, nothing is more powerful than the human body to heal. Supplements, medication, none of those things actually heal you. What heals you is inside. So when your nutrition is balanced, meaning you're getting the complement of vitamins and minerals on a regular basis over a long period of time, your body can begin to repair itself and heal. But until you have that balance and keep it that way, you don't get the recovery that you're hoping for. Okay? Number 3 would be proper movement and muscle stability. Number 4 would be reducing stress. Clearly, stress, and we didn't talk about this so up to this point, so I'll say a little bit here. But stress is one of the reasons why your body produces more histamine. And it's a more complicated, so I didn't go into it, because it has a lot to do with estrogen and progesterone and testosterone and adrenaline and all these other hormones. And it was too complex to do for this short talk. But what happens is the stressors, we'll say it simply, the stressors trigger your body. You go into what's called fight or flight. So instead of your body being able to run all the functions in a nice peaceful mode, the body goes into this aggressive fight mode, ready to deal with danger. It's an ancient reflex that protects us when the body thinks it's being attacked, right? Because immune system and digestion and sleep are way low on the line when you're being attacked by a tiger, right? So the body goes into this. Now, we don't have tigers attacking us anymore, but we are under long-term stress. And so long-term stress can really damage the immune system, can damage the gut, and eventually lead to symptoms of allergies. So in a person who has stress-related allergies, there's a couple steps that have to heal before you can actually get rid of the allergies. So people give up really too quickly when it comes to this one, because they go, well, I went on vacation, I should be better. But unfortunately, all of that adrenaline and all that stress just doesn't go away immediately, and the body doesn't just immediately return to normal. It takes time for it to heal. And then, of course, the last category, number 5, would be toxins. Okay, so neurological balance, nutritional balance, proper movement, low stress, and no chemicals. So these are the 5 areas that need to be worked with. So let me handle this for a second. I can't tell you how many people say to me, but I eat healthy. Fine. There are 5 areas that need to be managed. And if one of them is severely affected, it's going to pull down all the others. So even if you're eating really well and you're exercising perfectly, but you're full of toxins, for example, that's going to draw down the benefits of the nutrition and the exercise. Or, for example, if someone has a really subluxated or misaligned spine, that's going to draw down the benefits. The good news, on the flip side, if you were to increase one of those categories, you will draw the success of the other ones up as well. So you'll be more successful. So when you try to change your diet, if your nervous system is functioning properly, the food actions will be more successful. All right? So I hope this is mildly as exciting to you as it is to me, because what I was able to do is to use this information over the last 20 years and really help, really assist thousands of people getting away from allergies and having a more normal life. And I'm talking people, little people to old people. Everybody can benefit. So my hope for you is that you take some action, right? Think about your health from the perspective of balance, not from treatment. That's step 1. Number 2, get in here. See a professional, someone who knows how to coordinate all 5 of those categories. Because if you can coordinate all of those, you can get healthy when nobody else could help you. You can now get healthy. So this is the magic. This is the secret to our program. So like I said, I hope I inspired you today. If you have any questions, the Facebook, message me. Our phone numbers are on the Facebook, so you can always contact us. And I'd love to see you guys in the office. Hey, if you're already a patient, you're like, hey, we never talked about allergies, just tell me. And what we'll do is we'll sit down, have a special consult for you, and we'll just sit down and talk about what we can do. All right. I hope I helped you guys today. I hope you learned something. And again, I'm Dr. Chris, and I hope to see you really soon.